Merry Meet. Today I'm going to do a video about Christianity versus witchcraft. Well, not that in that kind of text, obviously. What I mean is, oh my god, it's a bit more comfortable. My leg's dying slightly. That's better. What I mean is when a teenage witch in America puts up just a light-hearted little cartoon about witchcraft on her Facebook page, and then gets a huge preaching session from one of her Christian Facebook friends. I do that simply because he's obviously not loving his neighbour, by accepting who she is. But that said, I'm sure he was meaning well by saying, look, I'm looking out for you, I don't want you to burn in hell, I'm just simply wanting to make sure that you're going to be okay when you die, obviously. But, the only reason why I think he's reacted in that way is because of the way that American children are taught about religion. They're obviously, in both England and America, when we go to sort of secondary school, in England we're given a Bible or a New Testament. I've actually got mine still from when I was in school. So this was what every kid in England is given when they start secondary school. They're given the New Testament and Psalms, and we're expected to read it all. I'll show you, because mine's different. Most kids get given a little red one that can just fit in your bag, and that's that. But because I went to a special needs school, I got given one with larger text, because and because of the fact that we can't read properly, apparently, we need bigger text. But anyway, so I got that when I was in year 7, at the age of, I think I was 12, 11 or 12 I was when I received that. I keep it for sentimental value, because it's just nice memories, to keep. When school give you free stuff, But obviously, I was atheist back then. I didn't believe in anything, but obviously I think I was 14 when I found witchcraft, so, But I kept it anyway, just in case, But that's as far. It stops there in England. In America, it carries on, because they obviously have religious studies just like we do in England. But the difference, I think, is that they have it drummed into them that Christianity is the right faith for you. They have it drummed in that, there are other religions out there, but Christianity is the religion to follow if you want to go to heaven, sort of thing. Whilst in England, we get religious education studies too. We have to take it as a GCSE. It's one of those ones that you have to study in certain schools. Obviously, when I transferred to a different secondary school, just up the road from the special needs school that I went to, we had to do a spirituality class instead of GCSE short course RE. Long course RE, which covered the 2 years, which was one that was optional rather than making it compulsory. But I decided to take it anyway, because obviously I'm fascinated by other religions, because they just fascinate me, So the difference is, when you're sat down in a GCSE RE class in England, we're taught about different religions and how they do things. We're not taught, Jews believe this, but it's wrong. We're taught, Jews believe this. And we have to learn what they believe, because we'll be examined on it later. It's the same when it comes to Christianity. The Christians believe this. And I think my RE teacher was Christian. He was as Christian as you get. And I think the only time where he acted a bit American was when the whole school knew, or my whole year group knew I was a witch. And he gave me a Christian youth magazine and invited me to come to the Christian youth group. But other than that, he was quite good with me. And that was that. And he actually said, I actually prefer the Jewish way of dealing with death. And I was like, yeah, fair enough. And this guy was a Christian. Christian as you get. Goes to church every Sunday and everything. I had a PDL teacher, obviously PDL is personal development lessons, really. where you're taught about finances. You're basically taught how to live, really. And instead of doing short course RE, we were taught spirituality classes. So we had psychology, philosophy, and spirituality lessons where we went over, I think we did Socrates, we did the hierarchy of needs, that's Malatov's dogs, that sort of thing. It was really fascinating. And then one term, our PDL teacher said, this guy was a legend. He was studying for a PhD. He's an absolute legend. And he thought, right, the next couple of weeks we're going to learn about cults. My eyebrows immediately raised as I was thinking, oh my god, what if he says that Wicca's a cult? We then looked at Jonestown and the fact that a load of people committed suicide for some reason. I can't remember why, but a load of people died. And then the second week, he sort of said, well, I'm going to teach you how to look out for a cult, because when you go to college, you're very likely to be pulled into a cult. And I was like, okay. So we sort of talking about how to look out for the signs of being dragged into a cult and how to get out of it as quick as you can, that sort of thing. And then he goes, which was quite interesting, well, if you want to join an alternative religion, he said, he called it an alternative religion rather than a cult, then the best one to join is Wicca. My eyebrows were like really raised at this point. I was like, whoa, this is the first time a teacher's mentioned witchcraft. And he goes, and he explained it all. He explained the whole history. He sort of said, does any, and he sort of then he asked the class, does anyone here know someone who practices Wicca? And everyone looked at me, and I sort of put my hand up and I said, I practice, sir. And he goes, oh, that's very interesting. You're the first student I've met who actually practices. And he sort of, he asked me to do a little bit of a presentation, and I was like, oh, this is quite cool, actually. And I was really happy, you know. So that's basically what kind of religious education is like in England, before I rabble on more about that and my own experiences. And I suppose the two different ways of being educated lead different Christians to act in different ways when they come across an alternative or different religion. I obviously have a really good friend of mine who gets on his knees every Sunday. He's a very good Christian, you know, no sex before marriage, all the rest of it. He's a very open Christian. And I jokingly said to him, you're not going to try and save my soul, are you? And he chuckles and he goes, no. But what I am going to do, he chuckled, is save you from those bag of sweets. I was like, oh, thanks. He says he steals one from my bag, you know, because obviously tuck shopping and all the rest of it. And I was like, oh, okay. And then one of the other Christians sort of said, oh, so does that mean you get to celebrate Christmas twice? And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, oh, you have Yule, don't you? And I was like, yes, we do. We celebrate the winter, it's also known as the winter solstice, and I sort of explained to him what we do. Oh, that's basically another Christmas, isn't it? And then I thought about it, it dawned on me, of course, it is basically another Christmas. And I was just like, you are brilliant. And then we had a good natter about crystal healing and runes and everything. And you could tell he was genuinely interested. Whilst over in America, you get responses to Facebook like that, like I explained at the beginning. Simply because the religious education is done in two completely different ways. So as a sort of an English witch, I suppose, before my video gets too long, that the best thing to do if you're an American witch and you get into that situation, as I suggested to my friend who messaged me a bit later and sort of goes, oh, what do I do? He's preaching to me now, it's getting ridiculous. And I sort of said, well, the best thing to do is to say to him, look, I really appreciate the fact that you're looking out for me, and that you believe that you're looking out for me and you're trying to obviously save my soul or whatever. But if I'm happy with my life and the way I lead it, and you're happy with the way you lead your life, you know, then I don't think that the way we lead our lives or the way we lead our faith has to define who we are. You don't go to your friends and you go, oh, there's a new person over there, let's go introduce ourselves. You don't go up to someone and you go, oh, I'm so-and-so. I'm like, I won't go up to you people at uni. Oh, hi, I'm Heidi and I'm a witch. You know, or it's like I was saying to my housemate earlier when it came to sexuality, and I was trying to explain to her about sexuality, and it's like you don't go up to someone and you go, oh, well, I'm Sarah and I'm bi. You know, you do not let things like your sexuality, your faith, those sorts of things define you. You just say, oh, I'm Heidi and I'm quite into this. You know, and it's like, oh, I'm Heidi and I'm studying creative writing and I'm truly fascinated by Jane Austen. You know, because those sort of things are conversation starters, as you know. You know, you don't go, or you don't jump in straight away with religion because, you know, it's just not cool. So therefore you don't let religion define who you are. And that's how you, I suppose, should deal with those types of situations, really. You just say, I don't let my religion define who I am. You shouldn't let your religion define who you are or how you talk to other people. We're just people at the end of the day, you know? We all have feelings, we all have emotions, we all have different beliefs. Yeah, that's fine, but we're still people. So treat me like any other person, you know? So yeah, I think that concludes my very serious video of the day. If you know you have if you've had any situations like this, then I'd like to hear about them. You know, I might write a blog post about it, and I might use some of the experiences. You know, to sort of, I like interactive vlogging and blogging, so you know, I'd like you guys to get in touch. So I'm going to go now before I get to the 12-minute mark. Blessed be everyone, and I hope you have a good week.